Hello, everybody, and happy 2017 to you all. Front Row Racing is back in action for the Front Row Racing World Championship Round 7 at Canada. I'm going to hand over to your commentary team of Front Row Racing GP and Front Row Racing JS.
Yes, I'm from Racing GP, also known as the Murray Talker. You will find out pretty sure why pretty soon, probably most likely. James, how are you this evening?
Yeah, not bad. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. Just point out to any of our regular listeners, or watchers I should say, that listen to us. I may sound a little bit different. It's because I've got a different microphone. That's all. There's nothing wrong, it's just different. So yeah, James, Christmas. Did you have a good one?
I ate too much. It's been a time of stuffing and turkey and not a lot else, really.
So is it going to be a matter of losing weight or buying new clothes?
It's a matter of buying as many Rennies as you can and try and deal with the heartburn.
Oh dear. Yeah. Well, we do have a question of the day today, which I'm not going to get to just yet. We're going to save that for in a bit. But just to point out who we've got with us this evening on the grid, and then we are going to cover basically a few things that have had to do with the Christmas period. So yeah, I'll go through who we've got with us this evening. So we should have in the Fearless Trailblazers Mercedes, Tempfear and Stocky. GG Well Played Ferrari will be Jammy James and Over Dykink. Then we've got Team Banter Williams of GT5 King and Mornay. Danish Dragons Red Bull with Dan Evs and Mr Hamilton 44. Moving Chicane Racing Force India of Killer Corkin and Duo Finn. A2W Racing Renault of W Butler and Adam 4600. The Prancing Rosso, Toro Rosso. And in those cars today we've got Simo 911 and F1 Roadrunner. I'll explain why Simo's in there instead of Tina Hen in a moment. The Underdogs McLaren. We've got Coming to Get You in there as a reserve instead of Bartman, and Hammer Time 44 is in that car as well, not in the same car, but in that same team. Lunatic Assassin Racing Haas of K-Slay 1 and RMS Maranello. And then in the admin's pick, Rookie Manor, we've got Braken Clays. Now, he did rather well last time out in the World Championship, so he may be one to watch today. He also did well at Canada in the World Championship Reserves. So, story of the winter break. I believe we've got DP back with us. DP, how was your winter break?
Cold. It was cold. Happy Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody. Some people love Christmas, some people don't like Christmas. I'm in the latter portion, I'm afraid. I'm a miserable old git. The winter break, it has brought some interesting stories in Front Row Racing from just before Christmas and even up to yesterday. The main one being the tyre glitch on F1 2016, which was brought to it came to the admin's attention after the last World Championship and World Series race, and took a bit of time to look through, and a decision has been made for this race and tomorrow's World Series race for the drivers to start on a mandatory tyre, so they all start on the same tyre, so nobody can get any benefit of massively useful additional tyre wear by starting on a harder tyre, especially if you're outside the top 10. So major talking point there. Also, as you guys know, Simo 911 getting a permanent drive now. That's going to rock the boat a little bit in the World Championship. So what are your guys' thoughts on that? But also a quick mention as well to Tina Hen. It's Tina Hen that's dropped out that allows Simo to take a place. So what's your guys' thoughts on both of those?
James?
To be fair, I mean, no offence to Tina, but Simo has just been lighting up the timing boards. It's just completely turned up, not needed any sort of bedding in time, and just completely on the pace, on the limit, ASAP, and that's what we want.
Yeah, I'd have to pretty much say the same for him there, and we'd expect him to be somewhere near the podium again today. I just point out DP the time. I'm going to hit ready for the cars to get going through to the qualifying as we finish off discussing this tyre wear glitch as well. So our fit ready for them to go through. Yeah, so it is a bit of a shame to see Tinahan step down. He decided that he hasn't got the time to put enough practice in, and we wish him all the well, but he will be joining us for the World Championship Reserves. So, DP, what can you say more on this mandatory tyre that we've gone with today?
Well, basically, it's a really, really tricky situation, especially when it comes to an admin's point of view. And people may think that it's just me that's made a decision. That's not the case. Some drivers may not have been pleased that the mandatory tyre choice was put in place yesterday. And think, well, why wasn't it done sooner? To be honest, to have done it any sooner was not possible. It couldn't have been done for the previous race. That it just simply not able to do that with it when we were told, when we knew about it, being able to look into it. It is a major problem. So all of the drivers have been told that they're going to need to start the race on the ultra soft purple marked tyre. The reason for that is that basically if you start on the ultra soft tyre, you get a certain rate of wear. If you start on the hard compound tyre, even if you pitted at the end of lap 1 and put ultra soft tyres on, you'd go a hell of a lot further, a hell of a lot faster for further as well. It's something that it seems being very wrong, and it was something that we kind of had to let the drivers know about because it is a major problem. And for a few of us it was a case of once we'd let them know, to do nothing might not be right. So for this race the mandatory tyre has been brought in. Now some drivers, well, all of the drivers in their pre-race comments, and they were asked the question, what do you think of the mandatory race start tyre? And without naming any names, I'm going to fire off some of the responses we had regarding that. One here saying, I think it's a fair way of starting the race. Having it only come to light recently regarding the benefits gained by starting on the harder tyre, I'm surprised this decision hasn't been made sooner. It would also explain some odd race results. It would explain some odd race results, and had we been able to do it much sooner, we would have done. Another one is fair play for the new mandatory starting tyre rule, but I'm not the least happy with it. I think that's partly to do because it could negate different strategies, which is possible. But obviously there's the ultra soft that the drivers have to start on, but then they can still use the super soft tyre and the mandatory in-game soft tyre, which is the hardest compound. Another comment. Mandatory starting tyre is the same for everyone, so no one gains or loses more than the other, so I don't see a problem, if I'm honest. We'll make it interesting anyway. Next one, the new tyre rule makes qualifying interesting but kind of kills any alternate strategies in the race, so oh well, just accept it how it is. That's what they said, that's not what I'm saying. The next one, I think it is fair to have a mandatory starting tyre now the game itself has some glitches, and it is a major glitch. Next comment, as for the new ruling, I believe it to be the fairest way forward and will be interesting with some drivers' race pace now. Another one, I don't really mind the new starting tyre procedure. I know some drivers are annoyed by it, but it is out of our control, and so we have to deal with it until coders sort it out. It won't affect my race. Next one, about the tyres, I was planning to start on the super soft tyre, so not huge differences for me. Next one, I don't really care what tyre we start on, fair play. Another one, mandatory tyre at the start is 100% the correct decision. And the next, I think it might be the last one, the mandatory tyre seems necessary. Evens up the grid as much as possible and removes the chance of people to gain an advantage through a glitch. So that's the comments from the drivers in the World Championship that we had responses to regarding that. So over to qualify now as the laps begin to come in.
Yeah, we're on board with RMS Maranello, who's gone into Sector 1 a bit too hot, it must be said.
Turn 3 and 4 completely braked way too late, and he was struggling also out of Turn 2 for traction. That did not look nice for Maranello.
No, and he'll be looking to do another lap after that one. Let's find somebody else who is on a lap. Casely is on an out lap, so he'll be starting one soon. Coming to Get You has just started his time, so we shall see how he gets through this Sector 1. Approaching Turn 3, he does have a car ahead of him. Hope that doesn't put him off too much. Does he hit the apex nicely? He does. Of 3 and 4, around 5 he goes, up towards 6 and 7. It can be a bit difficult under the braking here. A little bit wide off the apex. James?
You want to get as tight as you can up against that wall, Turn 7 to open up this, and he hasn't done that. Seems a bit tense, really. Now you want to throw it in here and hope it grips. That looked quite nice through there, and then right up against the wall, and once again probably leaving them curbs alone. Doesn't seem to be completely at one as he locks up into the hairpin at turn 10 now. All about the traction as we head down towards turn 11. It's not really a turn, it's more like a little bit of a centimetre wiggle to the right on the wheel, and that's about it as we head towards turn 12. This is really important towards the world champions. Can he get it? He's got it a little bit locked up once again, leaving plenty of time on the table, not rubbing against the world champions as he heads towards the line.
So 1:15.2. Yeah, it's quite a bit off the pace. I'm wondering whether that was like a bit of a warm-up and he'll be going for a hot lap again. So we'll have a look, see who else is out there. Go on.
Well, just a bit of info for you. Simo's currently provisional pole with a 13.2. Stocky provisionally second with a 13.5. But I think we're expecting potentially into the 11s for qualifying here today. I think you were saying, Steve, Sector 1 could be what, 20.5?
Mid-20s, yeah, 20.5, and we're watching Hammer Time at the moment. He's coming up to the end of Sector 1, and is he going to be anywhere near that mid-20s? It's 21.3, yeah. So Sector 2 DP, sorry.
Just to cut in there, Casely's just gone pole with a 1:12, I believe.
He has, I think that may have been his second, no, it was his first flying lap, my apologies.
Yeah, so not Mr. Hamilton, it's Hammer Time 95 approaching the end of Sector 2, and we're looking for 22.8-ish, and it's a 23.7, so he's a bit off the pace in that middle sector. So, we're just unfortunate with the guys that we're jumping on board with, they're just not setting the hot laps at the moment. Is anybody on there setting purples?
What,
not really, no, not yet.
Braking Clays was on a lap, but he's completely backed out of it. He's down at the hairpin and it looks like maybe pulling over. That engine sounds a bit sick unless he's just revving it on the red line.
And Hammer Time 95 has done a 1:14.1 and gone 6th.
Oof, Adam 4600 in the wall.
Oh, that's not going to be good for him. Coming to Get You did go on for another lap, but to be honest, he's not really improved his Sector 1 very much.
One to watch. We've got Dan Evans just starting a lap. He's running through turn 2. Oh, he's completely almost lost it on the traction out of turn 2. But let's see if he can recover this now, running through turn 3 and 4, heading towards turn 5. Oh, there's lots of traffic as well, just for good measure. This is not what he'll be wanting. He probably might back out of this, but no, he looks to be still on it as we head towards the little bit of a bridge as we head towards turn 12 and 13.
He's done that. Okay, go on.
Sorry, F1 Roadrunner's just gone and put himself provisionally third.
That'd be nice for F1 Roadrunner. It'd be one of his highest positions on the grid so far. Yeah, Danev's second. I was going to say, his second. He might get a nice bit of slipstream down here.
Yeah.
But his second sector was a little bit off it, to be honest. It wasn't quite where he wanted it.
Like a cheeky toe, but it'll hurt him in the braking zone. But hopefully, let's say, yeah, this is nice for him. Oh, he's gone a bit too deep there into the chicanes. Yellow flags out there as well.
We've got, there's a car into the barrier. Someone's been into the wall of champions. It was one of the McLarens.
Thinking about where that is on the circuit and who we saw a moment ago, it might have been Coming to Get You. Can't confirm it. No, it would have been Hammer Time 95. It came up at the bottom of the screen a few moments ago. It retired from session, and I was thinking that maybe he was. Yeah, he's qualifying. I thought he may have just been happy with the lap he set and got and parked it, but no, it would have been Hammer Time 95.
We've got 10th here. It looks to be on a bit of a flying lap. He's almost lost it coming out of turn 9. He's heading towards the hairpin now. First sector of a 21.4 and sector 2 is a 23.4.
Yeah, so it looks like the Haas cars are really on it today. So, Casely, like you said, was setting a 12, which is pretty good.
RMS Maranello, he's just done a 20.7 Sector 1. That's a purple by a tenth. I think he may have ran a little bit wide at exit of turn 8, but he's not far away from end of Sector 2, and that's going to be a 23.1, which is purple.
Yeah, it is purple, and his back end's squiggling all over the place. A new word for me there, squiggling. It used to be skittish, but now it's squiggly now. Anyway, heading down this straight that once upon a time used to have a stupid chicane in the middle of it. I'm glad they got rid of that.
That's probably even before James's time. That is.
Yeah, his lap though is done, I'm afraid. There was a cut on the final chicane and invalidated his time. That's rather unfortunate for Maranello.
Simo 911 is lining up to start a flying lap, but he's also got a Ferrari right behind him, which could be Jamie James. It is Jamie James, and I want to mention him because Jamie James was last season's winner here in Canada after a tricky start to the race and a fantastic end to the race, so he is one to keep an eye out for here.
Okay, we are watching Simo 911. He's got his full drive. Say full drive. He's got his first full time.
Do you want to go on the onboard camera for him?
Let's have a look at his. He's got a nice watch there. But yeah, heading down towards turn 3. James, take over.
Apologies, I was looking at a different car and I've zoned out completely. I'll let you go with it.
Okay, so Simo, end of sector 1, and it's a 21-1. It's not purple, but it's not too bad at all. Can he get the power down here? He has got it down nicely. He's got a car ahead of him, which isn't going to cause him too much problem. A couple more corners to go till we get to the end of sector 2 to give us an idea of how that's been going. A little bit of a twitch coming out of turn 9 there, but manages to catch it quite nicely. And it's a 23-4 sector 1. Sector 2.
Well, Jamie James matched him sector 1, but he's lost 4/10 on him in sector 2.
Simo didn't seem to have a good exit out of turn 10 though, and that's crucial all the way down here.
It could all come down to the final chicane and the Wall of Champions. But that's nice and neat and tidy. Doesn't use too much curve either. And what's this going to be as he crosses the line? It's 4th position of a 1:13.0. Okay, let's go find Jamie James. Let's see where he is.
He's already crossed the line and he's gone 7th.
It's 7th it is. Okay, I did see, I'm pretty sure I saw Stocky out there. He is. He's coming up towards, he's backed out of his lap. I tell you what, he got a 21-0 sector 1. And I thought he was on for a good lap there, but he's backed out of it.
GT5 King is just started a flying lap.
Okay, that's fine. GT5 King. Let's see how he's getting on. He has started his flying lap. He turns into turn 3, round 4. Wall of Rookies doesn't get anywhere near that. He's not a rookie anymore. He's one of the, I wouldn't say legends, but elderly gentlemen here. He'll like me for saying that.
For that. Calling him old. He's only about 20. He's probably not even 20 yet, and you're calling him old. You're old enough to be his dad.
What's a good sector 2 round here?
22.8.
Yeah.
22.8. Oh, okay.
The reason why I called him old is, yeah, okay, he's young, but he's been here probably longer than most people. So, yeah. I can't call him a rookie, that's for sure. Oh, we're not putting him off, honestly.
Simo's had a nice run out of the final chicane and he's popped himself in 3rd.
Ooh, so he went on for another lap. That's not done too bad there at all. GT5 King, last chicane to go. Will he find the Wall of Champions though? No, he won't. He's got the power down nicely coming out of that corner. DRS open, bolting towards the line. And he's gone 10th with a 13.9. He'll be looking to set a time a little bit quicker than that.
Coming to get you is just about to cross the line. He's done a 21-1 sector 1, a 23-3 sector 2. Might not be too bad this. Goes and puts himself in 5th place.
Nice that there from Coming to Get You.
Temp Fear's just starting a lap now. He's just going over the line, so let's see if he can improve. He's in 10th place. That's not where he'd like to be. Running through turn 2 on the power. A lot nicer than the last lap. Now through this tricky, slightly off camber corner. Ooh, rear end's gone! That's how easy. Just caught that there. That was, yeah, he's not looking at one with this car at all.
I'll tell you what though, he was a bit all over the place, but he still sets one of the quickest sector 1s. It's not a purple, but it was quick.
We've got Force India's keeping well out of the way. That's nice to see. Yeah, the traction just looks completely... doesn't look to be on top of that at all. Heading towards the hairpin. Yeah, the rear end just looks to be slightly skating about, and round here, I think we saw in, I think it was 2010, this became a complete tire eater, this circuit, and last thing you want even on a quali lap is to be losing traction in traction zones. Now we're heading towards the Wall of Champions once again. The rear end slightly going He's having to deal with a very oversteery car here, and he doesn't improve.
It's P11, and not great there towards the end of the lap, but we could see him struggling with those rears. We're into the last 5 minutes of qualifying. Let's have a quick look at the timing screen up at the top there and see who. I tell you what, Oberdiking's not set a time yet. He's going to need to get out soon. So Casely 12.5, Mr. Hamilton 12.5, Simo 12.6, Armis Mallow 12.7, Mornay 12.9. And I tell you what, Armis Maranello is out on the circuit and he started his first sector. And let's see if he can get anywhere near what he set last time. He has. He's gone 12.7 sector 1. I do believe that may be a purple. So let's have a look how he gets on then with the...
a 12.7 would be a purple by about 8 seconds. A 20.7 would be a purple.
Yeah, it is. It's a 20 point... Sorry for saying 12. But anyway, yeah. End of sector 2. Is not in the 22s, it's a 23.3, but I do believe that's still pretty quick compared to what's been set so far. I just don't think the circuit may be there for the optimal time today. It looks like it just may be a little bit hot and may have just a bit too much, what's the right word, James? Help me out.
What have you seen, DP?
Dan Evs, he's in the wall of champions, and that could compromise people's exits on the corner. If his car's not removed quite quickly, his car is stationary and the wheels are off.
And that's not good for Oberdijking because he's blasting towards the final 2 corners. He's just seen the yellow flags, he's locked slightly up, and he's had to completely go around Dan Evs. And let's just see now, this is Oberdijking's only lap. Let's see how he gets on down into turn 1. Slight little lock up in with the front left tyre. Traction slightly askew, but not too bad.
So I just want to interrupt quickly. While that was happening, I must apologise, we missed, or at least I did miss, RMS Maranello putting himself in pole position at 12.3.
We got him across the line on screen as you were talking.
Fantastic.
So yeah, Overdiking, James.
Yeah, he's heading under towards the bridge. It's all about chucking it in and hoping it grips, and he's chucked it in and it's slightly slid and it's completely gone now. That must have cost him at least a second there on the traction. It's a 23.7 middle sector, and I think his teammate here may be trying to give him a little bit of a tow down the back straight. Let's see what the Ferraris are up to.
We've seen this before from them.
Yeah, Arriva Bene is completely in charge of this team, it seems, and the yellow flags are still flying, and he's had to he's still give a car's width even though there's nothing there. Probably afraid of running over the debris, and it's only 11th. That is not what the Ferrari team would be wanting.
He does have the possibility of going on for another lap if he's got the fuel to do it. Sorry, that was Overdiking. GT5 King set himself up for another lap. Braken Clays is on a lap. We've not seen him yet. He's currently sat in 13th place, and he's just gone a bit too deep, and he's got it sideways out of turn 4. I don't think he's going to be improving on his time. We'll leave him there for now.
Going to interrupt you, Mr. Hammer 44 stolen pole position, but Casely 1 maybe on a good lap.
Yeah.
Slightly compromised sector 1. Compromised sector 2, but a good time. All depends on how this final sector goes. He's got a car going a little slow ahead of him, but hopefully far enough away. I think he's taken too much curb there.
Right up against
and
the wall.
He's backed out of it.
Yeah.
He's backed out of it. He knew he'd taken too much there.
Yeah,
That's such a shame.
It was the right thing to do there, though, was to back out of it and not set it as his fastest lap. Mornay's just on a 21.1 sector 1, and I tell you what, he's currently sat in 5th position. This is pretty good for Mornay. I'm not saying he's not good, I'm saying it's been a while since we've seen him making performances like this. I'm pretty sure he's a previous winner in front row racing, so it shouldn't be a surprise to us, but we've just been off his game a little bit recently, a bit like Temp Fear is currently. But sector 2, 23.4 DP.
Casely's just done a 21.0 sector 1, so he's continuing on for another flying lap.
Okay, so if he's...
Sorry, Jamie James, his session's over. Mornay 77 about to complete his lap though. Go on, James, what did you spot?
Just been bogged down by a Force India, completely holding him up in the hairpin. That's for Casely. Now heading down towards the final chicane. It was a 21.0 for Casely in sector 1, a 23.3 sector 2. The last chicane looked a lot nicer this lap. What's it going to be over the line? Third.
Oh, just
F1 Roadrunner still on a flying lap and coming to get you across the line with a second to spare.
I'm just seeing if it'll let me get on board with anyone that's on a lap at the moment. Mornay may be going on for another one. Coming to get you looks like he is on one as he is in sector 2. He's got a car ahead of him, hoping that's not going to put him off. He's currently sat in 5th position. Last time we saw him, he was about 5th or 6th. I did see that Mornay, when he crossed the line, he may have improved, but he's lost the position and gone down to 6th.
Apologies, I've got Temp Fear. I think he's just been hit by a Force India who was on a flying lap. I think he was trying to keep out of the way, but just missed. Let's see who could that have been. He's pulling off his Temp Fear. He's just been completely swiped by a Force India. I can't work out which Force India it could have been, though.
It would either be Killer Corkin or Duo Finn. Coming to get you has abandoned his lap. He's into the pits.
He is. So Mornay has followed him into the pits, and that's the only two that will let me go on. So that is qualifying done.
Yeah, I just want to quickly mention at this point as well that we have informed all of the drivers and the broadcast team as well that it is crucial that none of the drivers, once they get to the circuit for the race, it's crucial that they do not click race start. So if they've got engineers that are listening, remind them please guys, so that everybody can make sure that they are on the correct race starting tyre.
Question of the day, very quickly.
Yeah, we've not got to that bit. Question of the day, it's a dead simple one. What present did I get for Christmas that you can use while you're on the toilet? Nothing too rude, please, folks, but pop your guesses in on the YouTube comments.
Yeah, well, that'll be interesting. Interesting to see what they say. But also, I was wondering what the viewers' thoughts were on the tyre wear glitch and what they think a league should do going forward, long term.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not a question of the day, but put your comments in there. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah. So, James, you were going to say something a moment ago.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, could you give us a clue on what way you'd use it on the toilet?
Sitting down.
Right, that'd help me.
Good. I could give you more info, but it'd give the game away and would sound rather rude.
Would it be reading material by any chance?
No, you don't read it. So yeah, okay, yeah, qualifying is complete. The time screen will come up in a moment. Hopefully James will take us through the qualifying order, and regular viewers will know that Steve will have to leave the lobby at this point so he can get back in for the start of the race.
Yeah, and we're hoping that everybody will abide by the rules set in place, that they'll all start on the ultra soft tyres. Nothing has been said what the penalty would have been. Temp Fear's got a 5-place grid penalty drop. James?
That could be for that collision with the Force India, but we still don't know which Force India it is, so let's go through the qualifying times. And it was Mr. Hamilton, 44, P1. RMS Maranello, P2, Casely 1, P3, Simo 911, P4. Jamie James doing a really good job there for the Ferrari team in P5. Temp Fear did actually come up with something special and he came in with P6 for the Mercedes-Benz team. Mornay was P7, Roadrunner was P8, Stocky was P9. That's unfortunate for him. We would have normally be seeing him higher up the grid. Coming to get you was in P10, GT5 King was in P11, Dan Eds was in P12. Over Dyking 4 Ferrari was unfortunately lost it a little bit on his one and only qualifying lap for P13. Brakenclay's P14, Hammertime P15, Will Butler P16, Killer Corkin P17, Adam 4600 P18 and Duo Finn P19.
Okay, so as the guys are now on the grid, this is the point where we've asked the drivers to not hit start race, to give everybody the opportunity to sort out their race strategies. A minute timer has been started. Once that timer goes off, then the broadcast team here will hit start race, then hopefully everybody will have been able to get their tyres sorted, and all of the drivers were given a link as well as to how to sort out making sure the right tyre is on the car, so hopefully they've watched that. And for anyone that's watching that doesn't know what we're on about when it comes to the tyre wear glitch, have a look at the Front Row Racing post that was put up on the page yesterday. There's links on there to a video and also to the Codemasters forum, and somebody has hit start race about 20 seconds too soon. So frustrating. Hopefully everybody will have got their tyres sorted, but it is, I mean, that's where respect comes into it from the drivers. Okay, mistakes happen, but it is kind of vitally important that the drivers don't do that when we're sat here waiting to give them time, and they've not given it to themselves.
Okay, so start race has been clicked. We're going to be doing the formation lap shortly, which we'll now be able to rejoin.
It is now underway.
Okay, DP, while this formation lap is going, any drivers' comments you wish to read out?
Tyre, and Brake and Clays appears to be on the super soft compound tyre. Now if that is a case of they were sorting their tyres out when because I know if I was that driver that's just possibly been stitched up, I would be absolutely fuming. Steve,
okay, DP, got a problem.
Join through the chat party.
I did that and it didn't let me. I'm just trying.
My name, or make sure you click on James's name.
I've tried yours. I'm doing James's now, and it's errored on both.
Okay. Have you tried going through one of the invites?
Yep.
James, you and myself are going to quit to the main menu. Drivers are aware that there will be a restart in place, and that is really annoying that error has happened, because everything that's put in place to try and make sure that doesn't happen, obviously, on this occasion, hasn't worked.
Yeah, once again, Codemasters, not meaning to bash them, but it is very, very frustrating.
Just a thought at the moment, DP, as well, on the process. The guys that had just selected their tyres that were incorrect.
I don't know. I don't know if they will be able to change their tyres or not.
Because I don't think they will, personally.
I'm going to quickly I'll set up the new lobby and send a new message out to the drivers. And Steve, just to remind you not to join the lobby until the formation lap is about to begin.
Yep.
But yeah, running through the qualifying times was, I mean, Mr. Hamilton 44, I mean, he's shown that he's very, very skilled as a driver. But Casely, once again, not meaning to big him up any more than I normally do, but he'd whacked in that really, really good qualifying time, which I think was about half a second quicker than everybody. And Mr. Hamilton and Maranello were able to pip him, and Simo was also able to get in on the action. So that's also showing that he's straight away up to running with very, very quick times.
Definitely was, James. I've sent you an invite. If you could come and join us, please, and then I can send invites out to all of the drivers as well.
Okay, I'm just going to read off a couple of the drivers' comments while I can. So, RMS Maranello, where did he qualify, James?
Maranello?
Yeah.
Let's just get this up on the screen, just bear with me 2 seconds. It was P2, Maranello. Okay,
his pre-race comments. Really confident about this track. It is one of my favourites, well, it's obviously shown already. I'm hoping for a podium finish and hope we can get a 1-2. He'll be using the softer option for the weekend. Just reading, making sure before I read it all that I'm not going to give anything away to any engineers listening. No, I'm not going to read any more of that.
The strategy I will be using is...
My setup is... Adam 4600. Let's have a little read to see what he put. Well, in practice, he's hit the wall of champions twice. So it says he is feeling confident for the race, though. He's going to go for the softer tyres, and he's going to go quite aggressive. So that's interesting.
Well, he's going to have to go aggressive down in P18. No, he's already got one place to give up with Duo Finn behind him, so he might as well go aggressive.
I'll just have a look, see if I can read out another one of these drivers' comments without giving too much away. Roadrunner, no, it's just seen Temp Fear. Let's read Temp Fear's out. I may have to change some of the language here, but he was asked how is his relationship between him and his teammate. Sometimes he's a how do I change that word? Woman's
I'd just
parts.
say that the relationship is potentially hostile.
Yeah.
That was very weird because it was a big love-in, wasn't it, when they first got together?
Something like that, but it's just made me wonder what his teammate did say, which his teammate is Stocky. So what did he have to say about his teammate? This week I want to smash Temp Fear. I don't think he means literally. As he's been practicing with other people and leaving me out. I'm having him.
Ooh.
Well, I tell you what, I think part of the hostileness between the two of them, has potentially come from the fact that Stocky supposedly accidentally blew up Temp Fear's house on Minecraft. So yeah, was in his house with, I think, TNT in a match, sort of winding him up, and accidentally dropped it and blew up his house. So yeah, I think it may have sort of come from that.
Well, that's interesting. Yep, I don't think he'll be letting him on his Minecraft again. Alright, another driver's comments. Let's have a look. GT5 King. He sent a big long essay, so let's try and read some of this. He thinks he's got the pace to finish in the top 10. Predicting a high chance of rain tonight. Well, we didn't see that on the forecast. So maybe he knows something that we don't. He's going to bring the balanced set of tyres. And is there a chance... he was asked if there's a chance of him finishing on the podium. And he said, there's a higher chance of Manor finishing in top 3 in this year's F1 Championship than me finishing on the podium tonight.
People said that about Braun in 2009.
They didn't do too bad, did they? Okay, guys, you're going to have to just bear with us for a moment while we'll just make sure we get all of the drivers back in, and I can just quickly send a message to them all, because I think I have missed one.
It's coming to get you, and Hammer Time and Simo are missing.
With this being Simo's first full-time drive, as in it's his seat, he's secured it now in the World Championship, it'd be interesting to see what his pre-race comments were. So see if I can find them, and I shall read them out as soon as I've got them. Just have a look, here we are, I have found them. Okay, he says he'll be bringing the softer tyres. He thinks the mandatory rule is a good decision. Maybe not his track, not really his track. Too many corner accelerations and hard braking. Maybe the one tyre rule on the last chicane is... what is that? Maybe the one... I don't understand that bit, so I'm not going to read that. We are doing the sport for the viewers, so it's a shame that the race doesn't stop at the finish line. What he means there is, I think, front row racing, we want to make sure everything's nice and clean, and if drivers do something that's not appropriate, other drivers can report them for it, and it will be looked into. So that's the only reason why things are not necessarily done at the finish line.
Do we happen to have Kersler's comments?
We do somewhere. I just have to find them.
Yeah, because he's had very hit or miss races. I mean, last time out in Monaco, he was out within 2 laps, and we were all expecting him to go great guns round there. So to be back up at the front, I'm sure he's not too displeased about being in P3 at the start.
Well, he was asked, are you dreading the start of this race? And he says, desperately need a good result after DNFs in Spain and Monaco. So he's not really touched on the race start there from the question, but he's basically said he needs a good result, so he'll be looking to try and keep it clean. Oh, hang on, sorry. He does say, I always dread the start thanks to TalkTalk, and I think that basically means his internet connection.
Yeah, he did tell me about a challenging conversation he had with one of their members. I love the way that we're just slagging off companies tonight. Codemasters,
okay,
Talk.
So, yeah, I just need to jump in quickly. James, can you please send myself and Steve invites to the lobby, please? We're just waiting on, I think, Mr. Hamilton 44 at the moment. I have sent a message to the drivers as well, and obviously mentioned to GT5 King and Breaking Clays, I think it was, to try and put on the ultra soft tyre, and if they can't work out how to do it, that's why we had the video yesterday available for all of the drivers, so that they could see how to change the tyre, because basically it works out, if it's saying a one-stop strategy for you, starting on the hardest tyre, you can't take away that hardest tyre to put the ultra soft on. So what you have to do is you have to add a stint, make that the hardest tyre, and then you can get rid of that that first stint on the hardest tyre, meaning you'll start on the ultra soft. So there's a way to do it that was available for all of the drivers to see. And someone on YouTube has just asked, when are we restarting? We'll be restarting as soon as physically possible. It's not great. If you want to complain, go to the Codemasters forums. That's what it's for. As frustrating as it is for you guys that are driving, trust me, it's probably even more frustrating for us guys in the commentary box, because we know how much it pisses you off. So apologies for my language there, but that is how frustrating it gets.
Yeah, and I've said it many times, it would be so much simpler if there was just a spectate mode, because then we would not need to leave to return to get to watch the start of the race. And why do we want to watch the start of the race? It's one of the best bits in Formula 1. Simple as that. I mean, what's your other option? I start at the back and have to press button to retire the car, and even then, it would bring out yellow flags and no one would be able to overtake anyway on this game.
Yeah, and then we've got to deal with people going, I've got an illegal overtake at the start of the race. So, yeah, frustrating whichever way round it's done. Okay, let me just check. All of the drivers are in, all of the invites have been sent out. So I think we can potentially now hit ready. Just want to check the messages. Okay, yep, they're aware of that. Okay, we're ready to go. So again, the drivers are not to hit a hit race start. They have been informed of that. We'll put a minute timer on so that all the drivers can get their tyres sorted. Obviously, those who qualified on the ultra soft tyre, they're fine. They don't have to do anything. They'll be starting on the ultra soft tyre anyway. Those outside the top 10, they're the ones that need to make sure that they are on the ultra soft tyre. And I mean, people, if you've got comments about the tyre wear glitch, feel free to put them on YouTube, on our YouTube comments, or go and check out the Codemasters forum. I'll see if I can post the link to it. It's one of those. I mean, when I first found out about it, you know what? I was probably in shock for 2 days that this was something that was actually on the game. It's absolutely mental. I mean, I know some people have mentioned about the engine overheating issue on F1 20. Well, the previous game, when that first came out, but that was a case of you run rich for a full lap, you overheat your engine, you lose power. Okay, Codemasters got rid of that. Personally, I don't think they should have done, but that makes sense. However, choosing to start the race on ultra soft tyre and choosing to start the race on the hard tyre and getting massively different rates of wear on your tyres, that's wrong, and Codemasters know that that's interesting. But in the coming days, more information will be given to the Front Row Racing drivers with potential possibilities of what to do going forward. So let's see how we get on here today. Okay, the timer is going, so hopefully nobody's going to hit start race now. All the drivers can get their ultra soft tyres on. Somebody has hit start race. Well done, guys. Well done. And I must admit, if someone's doing that on purpose, it's just as bad as purposefully putting on the wrong tyre, because you've potentially now stopped somebody from putting the right tyre on, and then you can't sit there and go, they're on the wrong tyre. So well done for that. I've got to say congratulations.
Do you know what as well? It can be easily found out who did it. But it's on their footage.
True.
Because everyone else's footage will have a clock ticking down.
That's true. Okay, the formation lap is not underway yet. It will be very soon. Obviously, the grid will be lined up in the formation that they had from the qualifying session. Formation lap is now underway. So,
okay.
Steve, you are free to try and join if it's going to let. And I can tell you that whoever did hit start race straight away has potentially screwed over a driver. So I've got to say massive congratulations for that. Well done. You've just shown potentially a complete lack of respect to everybody else on the track. Okay, mistakes happen, but come on, guys. You're meant to be better than this. Okay, let's try and focus on the race. I mean, GT5 King, he's in a very difficult situation now as to what does he do. To be honest, the only thing that GT5 King can do now is race this race as he would have done, and then provide his footage after the race.
So I am with you now. I am watching Mr. Hamilton approach the last couple of corners, getting his car ready.
Okay, so Mr. Hamilton 44 on pole position then. Come on then, guys, give your predictions in a moment. Just want to re-mention the question of the day. It's a dead simple one. What Christmas present did I get that you can use while you're on the toilet?
Toilet roll. Right, Mr. Hamilton has stopped his car in the box on the yellow line alongside him. Is it Marinello or is it Cavesley? It's Cavesley alongside him, isn't it? Yeah, I think. No, it's Marinello that's in second place. Well, we're waiting for them lights to come on. They're going to come on any moment. We're just waiting for those last couple of cars.
Me and DP are just turning up now, so the lights should be getting underway any second now.
Yeah, with the smoke coming off some of the cars in the background there, just starting to overheat on this grid. It is a bit hot out there. And it's put me on board with me. I don't want to be on board with me, I want to be on board with the guys at the front. And the lights are coming on. There's 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights are on. When they go out, we're going to be underway. They're out, the cars are away, and all the tyres are smoking, burning rubber as they head down in towards turn 1. And I could really do with it changing view for me. There we go. And this is going to be clean from everybody. It's very tight, and RS Marinello's made a lunge for the lead, and it looks like he's taken the lead. He has, and he's got the lead into turn 3 and 4. Need to see what's happening behind him, because I think it could be very tight behind him. It is. Mr. Hamilton is very, very close to the rear of him. W. Butler has retired from the race. W. Butler is out. Over Dyking. Over Dyking's retired. He's out from this race. His session is done as well. That's not going to be what he would have wanted from today. So, yeah. James, any idea what happened? Or did you just see cars in wall?
I don't have a clue. Just saw cars on the wall on the mini-map as we've got Simo in P3 trying to hold off from Caseley, and Jamie James is all over the back of Caseley as well in P5, so he's the sole Ferrari for this race. So let's see what he's got in the tank, because he seems to have a lot of straight line speed pulling out from the slipstream, and yeah, Caseley's gone in a bit deeper. I think Jamie James might have him for P4 here, going down the start-finish straight towards turn 1. Can Jamie James do it on the brakes? Caseley's still in there. Jamie James is on the outside. There's been a little bit of touching cloth there as we're heading now towards the fast chicane, turning right. Jamie James just leaving enough room, and that was lovely to see there. But Jamie James lost control on the exit, and Casely's got straight back for P4.
Yeah, I've got some info for you guys. Dan Evans and GT5 King are coming together on the exit of turn 2. That will have put them quite far down and potentially with damage. Over King, W Butler. I'm just having a look. W Butler was ahead of Over King. Looks like he may have had a moment, possibly a little bit of lag on Breaking Clays, and into the wall of rookies. W Butler goes, but then Tempfear's already in the barrier on the left-hand side of the circuit, so something's happened to him as well. Then it looks like Over King gets nudged from behind, puts him into the barrier, loses his wheel.
Jamie James, that's going to be race over, surely. That is heavy into the wall for Jamie James.
He's still going.
He's still going. That was,
unbelievable.
Lost control on the traction, and 2 into 1 does not go as I'm 4600. I hope he can realise that Jamie James hasn't got front wing.
So Maranello sets fastest lap of the race so far with a 1:15.1, and it's getting very tight at 6th position here, and it's Mornay with Tempfear trying to go around the outside of turn 2, and I think Roadrunner's just had a bit of a mistake ahead of them.
Tempfear down in P18, Dan Evans down in P17.
I apologise, it's Stocky that's behind. Yes, it's Stocky that's behind Mornay, being followed by Coming to Get You and Breaking Clays.
Okay, disaster for Jamie James, sorry. He's going to come out of the pits in at 16th place, a little bit ahead of Dan Evans, and Jamie James had to change front wing and also now onto the hardest compound of tyre, so frustrating for him, but possibly if he can go long, he's got a chance of still getting something out of this one.
Stocky's got a nice run on Mornay heading towards the hairpin. Mornay's braked too deep and has gone wide. Will he know that they're still side by side? Yes, they do, as they're running so close together and Coming to Get You. He could get some nice cheeky slipstream behind, but this is side by side down towards the final chicane at Stocky's straight line speed has just got him in front.
He's got the DRS on this lap, as the DRS is available.
Coming to Get You and Breaking Clays up the inside of Coming to Get You, and 2 into 1 does not work in the final chicane.
We didn't see it on camera. What happened, James?
Breaking Clays was up the inside of Coming to Get You, but Coming to Get You, there was no way he could go other than turn in or go on the escape road, and he turned in, and Breaking Clays was the one who lost out there. I don't think there was any damage to either car, but still 150 mile an hour collision there between the two.
Yeah, not very nice. We did just see somebody go deep at turn 1.
Just to let you know, guys, I'll keep an eye on the leaders for you, and I'll shout at you if they get close enough that anything's going to happen. RMS Maranello leading Mr. Hamlin 44 at the moment.
And it's just getting a bit tight for some of these. Oh, I've just seen a Renault hitting wall. That's got to be Adam 4600. He's in the Renault, and it's front wing damage for Adam 4600, and he's in 14th place. He's going to be losing a couple more places after he's been to the pit stop.
Have a look at Simo, 911 in third. Have a look at Simo. I think something's happening there.
He is. He's being caught. He's got the car right behind him of Casely, lining him up with DRS, but I don't think he can make a move on this lap. James, what's he going to do down towards turn 1?
He's got a nice exit those Casely, and he's going to already do him as we're going to wiggle a bit, and Simo's lost it, and Casely's into P3, but behind I think we've got I think it's F1 Roadrunner. No, it's not.
Mornay's under pressure from Coming to Get You, yeah.
It's Stocky leaving the car's width, that's nice to see. Coming to Get You is also crowding in on this situation, but Mornay's lost it! Coming to Get You, I bet he's going to have to change them underpants.
I was going to say, I don't know who needed my Christmas present more.
Stocky's just lost it! It's just completely lost it on the traction, and Coming to Get You has just gone straight past. I thought the rear end just completely snapped for him through turn 5, not even much of a turn, just completely lost the traction. I think that was in like 4th gear then.
Jeez, so these guys would have qualified on the guys that started in the top 10, qualified on these tyres. How many laps were we expecting them to do on them?
I think Stocky will be probably in the pit this lap. From the look of his tyre weight, it's going backwards. Is that Mercedes-Benz?
Oh, sorry. Just need to let you know, RMS Maranello has been massively compromised by a Mercedes that's had to go into the pits with no front wing. That's going to put him under pressure from Mr. Hamilton 44. Is he going to go for a move into turn 1? No, he doesn't. That was an interesting situation, but 4th and 5th place, which I think is Simo and Roadrunner, they're getting close into turn 1.
Yeah, Roadrunner, the Toro Rosso team were going to be starting to scream to say, look, Casely has got past you, Simo, let me have a go at him, but I don't think Simo's given up on Casely here.
Doesn't like he's going to. I mean, what position did Simo start in? I think it was about 9th, wasn't it? And he got up to about 4th quite quickly.
No, I believe Simo was in P4, and he jumped in front of Casely at the start, but Casely just got him back a lap ago.
Just having a look through GT5 King, he's doing okay, and I've just saw a Killer Corkin a bit sideways. He's just behind his teammate, a Duo Finn. Looks like they may get a bit closer shortly.
I mean, the big winner here is F1 Roadrunner in P5, started in P8, so he's gained 3 places there. It's good bit of driving there going on, but yeah, Mr. Hamilton is within a second, but I don't think he's going to be doing him down the first bit. But I think Temp Fear is trying to unlap himself against Brakenclays in P9. Brakenclays will not want Temp Fear past, but I think it's going to happen either way. Oh, he's pushed Temp Fear onto the grass there. Temp Fear's lost control and gone into the pit lane.
Oh dear, not going to be what he wanted. I'm just watching sorry, just going to say, Mr. Hamilton here is just looking rather comfortable at the moment. Doesn't look like he's pushing too hard. It's almost as if he's happy following RMS Maranello. Maybe he's planning on trying to do an undercut, or maybe an overcut so he can do the undercut later in the race. But it doesn't look like he's putting too much pressure on at the moment.
And the two Force Indias look to be getting close together. As I say, that Killer Corkin's almost lost the rear end. Yeah, so all going a bit Pete Tong for the midfield.
We are getting around about pit stop window, and I'm just wondering if one of the Haas team may decide to go for the pits anytime soon.
Also, the McLarens have coming to get you, and I believe it's hammer time. Very, very close together. I think whichever one goes for the pits is going to come out on top here. So, yeah, it's hammer time. He's going for the undercut on coming to get you.
Okay, just to let you know as well, the GT5 King, I'm fairly sure, I think he was able to start on the ultra soft tyre. The race director may have lied to us because he hasn't made a pit stop and he's on the ultra soft tyre at the moment.
So oh no, Brakenclays, he's out the race. No, hang on, he's still going. He is so lucky. How did that not lose a wheel? Wall of Champions spat him out the other opposite way. He hit the pit lane, and yeah, I'm surprised that car is still going. But he's under pressure now.
Yeah. I'd be giving that place up if you've not got a front wing.
Yeah, there's
just give up, get out of the way, because hammer time here is just going to be mincing past GT5 King on fresh tyres.
Well, I'll tell you what.
He's lost it.
That's what happens when you've got no front wing around here. You can't go at the same speed around the corners. Adam 4600's retired as well. I don't know if that had anything to do with the car on the circuit.
So I've seen the Hamilton 44 is into the pits, and so is Stocky. Both of the leaders then into the pits. Let's have a look at what tyre RMS Maranello is going to go for. The choices are potentially the ultra soft, super soft, or the soft.
Hamilton's on the softs.
You did say Stocky, but we know who you meant.
Yeah, okay, my apologies. Mr. Hamilton's jumped him. Mr. Hamilton's jumped him in the pits.
They're both on soft as well, and Hamilton's going to be grinning at that. But where's he going to come out? I think he's behind Casely. No, it's a
Maranello's gone wide. Maranello went wide, giving that Williams space. He's going to have to be very, very careful now. It's Mornay that is right behind Mr. Hamilton 44. That could possibly have just helped down Mr. Hamilton 44. But also, I mean, Casely, he's now leading this race. How much further is he going to go?
Oh, I don't think he's going to go too much further. Unless he's going to try the one stop, then he's going to be wanting to go about another 4 or 5 laps, maybe even further than that.
The F1 Roadrunner's not letting him go though. He's still only about a second behind Casely, so I think F1 Roadrunner's in for a good shout in this race, starting from PA. He's doing really well.
Well, we did see it last season where the team at the bottom of the pit lane, which is Haas this season, they quite often get overtaken if 2 cars win the pits at the same time. If they get followed into the pits, they can quite easily...
And so is F1 Roadrunner. So F1 Roadrunner might get a jump on him just to emphasise what you were saying there, Steve.
Yeah, and if we, I'm actually going to stay on board with Casely just to show what happens to the team at the end of the pit lane, because it's an interesting situation, and it's why picking your car it didn't happen. That might be because it's the Toro Rosso that's closer to him in the pit lane, not the Red Bull which Mr. Hamilton races in. That will be the difference there.
A lot. They have really lost out because Simo's already running through turn 5.
Has Simo pitted yet?
I believe so, yeah.
I'll check for you, but I think my race director may be lying to me. I could be wrong. I mean, it's showing coming to get you on track as being on the soft compound type, on the race director is telling me the ultra softs.
I think they've lost about 5 seconds there.
Simo has pitted.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Simo's undercut.
At least 5 seconds on them.
Yeah, that undercut was massive then from Simo.
So, and there's Maranello as well. So we've got Morny in front who hasn't pitted, I don't believe.
So the situation then at the moment then is coming to get you 85, leads this race but not pitted yet. And he's coming up towards the pit lane. Is he going to pit soon? No, he's going to go for another lap. He's not wanting to pit just yet. He does have Mr. Hamilton though, not far behind him.
Maranello is going for a move on for P3 on Morny who hasn't pitted yet. I think it should be easy picking down towards turn 1.
10th here has retired from the race.
He's gone deep and he's left the door wide open for Simo. Oh, 2 cars! Simo and Maranello! I think they're both in the wall.
Maranello.
We're just saying how much of... Yeah, we're just saying about how much of a good undercut they've done. They're both in the wall, and that was all because I think Maranello sort of squeezed up against the Williams that I think he thought was going to just jump out of his way but at the end of the day that was 4th position and that Williams did not have to move out of the way. But yeah, these two are completely been shot in the foot now.
Well, Simo's still got front wing, but RMS Maranello hasn't. Some info for you about Jamie James as well. I saw that it popped up the... He's retired from the race. Basically, the corner that Simo's going through now, he got a little bit too much on the exit curb, spat him over to the left-hand side of the track, into the barrier, front left wheel off the car. And these cars don't like going around corners with only one front wheel. Simo, I think he may have a little bit of damage because he's wiggling about a little bit.
Morny is in the pits for the Williams team as Hamilton 44 is still on the back of coming to get you, and they're still running quite happily down at the front.
Well, I think 44 is going to be passing him soon.
Simo and RMS Maranello are both into the pit lane, and so is Morny. That was the car that they were wanting to try and overtake. Morny has now come out on the soft compound, which is the hardest
Steve,
that's here today.
Steve, you're going to have a look at Mr. Hamilton 44 because he is all over the back of Coming to Get You, and Coming to Get You is on very old option tyres now.
Yeah, I think his rears have completely gone for Coming to Get You as they're heading under the bridge through the fast left-right of 8 and 9. I think Coming to Get You, the traction zone out of turn 10 that we're coming up to, I think he may lose so much that I think Hamilton 44 will just breeze straight past him. Yeah, he's lost the rear end like I said he would do, and here we go, it's all playing out as I foresaw it. And Coming to Get You, what's he going to do? I don't think it matters which way he's going to go because Mr. Hamilton's straight line speed with the DRS wide open is a breeze past, and thank you very much and good night.
And I was just thinking there, if Coming to Get You was wanting to pit on that lap, it would have compromised him. He's not. He's going. It looks like he's going to be trying to for a one-stop here. How many laps is he going to do on the tyres he's on to make a one-stop work? Well, I'd probably say 1 or 2 more, so he's got 20 to do. On the soft compound.
He's just lost about 10 car lengths in 2 corners. I think he's going to be crying to take these tyres off anytime soon. I don't think he'll be going any longer than this lap because he's just disappearing.
Well, if he was to pit now, he's going to have to do a 2-stop though. I think a 1-stop's going to be very difficult because the time is losing now. He might as well have done a pit stop 2 or 3 laps earlier.
Yeah, and Casely is completely hunting him down. I think he's just took about 2 seconds out of him in the first sector, and he's already took a second out of him, I think, in sector 2.
Yeah,
Tell you what though, Casely's bringing F1 Roadrunner along with him.
Yeah, definitely. But I think I would have pitted on the previous lap because look how much time he's lost in 1 lap alone.
Yeah, well, I'm going to quickly run through the order for you. You don't have to switch the cameras. Mr. 44 currently leading, coming to get you second place yet to pit. K-Slay third, F1 Roadrunner fourth, Hammer Time fifth, Mornay sixth, Stocky seventh, Dan Evans now up to eighth, Duo Finn ninth, as coming to get you has pitted. Duo Finn, is ninth, GT5 King 10th, RMS Maranello in 11th, Simo in 12th, Killer Corkin 13th, and quite a few terminal damage DNFs.
Yeah, if you want to get your list ready of the DNFs and go through them in a short while.
Do you know which tyres F1 Roadrunner started on?
They all started on the same ones, James.
Yeah, but I know that we had a few drivers that may have been scuppered with this starting procedure.
He started on the ultra soft tyre, I do believe. Right. List of the DNF drivers you were mentioning there, Steve.
Yeah.
Let's see, we've got the first of them was W Buller 89, quickly followed by Over Dyking, Adam 4600, Brake and Clay's Temp Fiat, and Jamie James.
Just to let you know, coming to get you after his pit stops, come out in 6th position. So he's got, who's it one side of him? The Stocky that is behind him, and Mornay that's ahead. Yeah, and he's got two cars that are not that far ahead of him. He's got fresher rubber than them, but these soft compound tyres, they just kind of stick at the same pace for every lap until they're dead. So it's not like he's going to have, necessarily better tyres at this point, really.
As we're heading towards a bit of a dull period in this race, I think the ones to watch now are going to be Maranello and Simo, that are now on brand new tyres and clearly got a lot of pace compared to the midfield runners. So I think these two are going to start carving the way back through the field and heading back towards the front.
Yeah, just going to mention something that we've not had a chance to mention yet, and that is Duo Finn is still on the circuit. He's in 9th place. We've not seen much of him this season. One of the reasons, he's had a problem with his steering wheel, not compatible with the game, unfortunately, so he's having to get used to driving on the pad. If that situation is changing and we're unaware of it and he watches his back, he can always let us know, but as far as we're aware, he's on a pad and it's not what he's used to. But he is in 9th place. He is still going, but he has got GT5 King not far behind him.
And behind GT5 King, Maranello looks to be going to be wanting a breeze past pretty sharpish, as we know he's got so much pace along with Roadrunner behind him. But here we go, the traction zone of turn 9 did not look good for GT5 King as we head towards turn 10. GT5 King staying on the racing line but blocking up under the pressure. He's run wide and that's just allowing Maranello to grin with confidence as we head down through turn 11 onto the back straight.
Yeah, and I think he's maybe just a touch too far behind as they approach the final chicane. Maybe get a bit closer here so that they can start to attack into turn 1.
May have him, I think he'll have him down at turn 1, but GT5 King is going defensive, sort of wiggling a bit, making it a bit harder for
Maranello. I have to cut in a second. Mornay 77 is attacking Hammer Time. He's just had a sneaky look up the inside of him into the second chicane. Wasn't quite able to do it, but I think he's getting a little bit impatient. And I think Hammer Time, he's definitely feeling the pressure of Mornay sitting right behind him, wanting his position. I think it could be a move that'll be done on the DRS straight, depending on what Mornay's straight line speed is like. It's quite nicely into the hairpin. How's his traction? Sideways is how his traction is. That's going to compromise him. I don't think he's going to be able to attack.
He has got slipstream, he has got DRS. It'll be a late dive if he did it on this lap, but he has got good straight line speed. And he needs to be right up behind him.
Simo is now clinging onto the back of GT5 King down in P12, and also I believe, who is that down there? I think it's Maranello all over the back of Duo Finn. I think he will have Duo Finn down into turn 1 for P9. The Force India looks to be reluctant to give way, but
Mornay's going to go for the move. Sorry, Mornay's going to go for the move. No, he's just opted out of it as they approach turn 5 and 6, 7.
Yeah.
Right, he's got so much more speed through that second sector. When it comes to the straights, he just doesn't seem to be able to keep with him. So it may just be a difference in setups here. But he just needs to try and keep close.
Yeah, this is all kicking off for P10. We've got 3 cars fighting for one position now. Maranello has made his way through, and I think it is Duofin and GT5 King have run out of tyre grip, and Simo 911 is going through. I think, yeah, Duofin's completely locked up, and Simo looks to be lining himself up for the back straight.
I'm just wondering here if Hammer Time was holding.
He's got the move, Mornay's got the move, sorry, yeah. Hammer Time looked like he had a slightly dodgy chicane there at the end of the lap. That's given Mornay the perfect opportunity to get past.
I was wondering if Hammer Time was holding Mornay up a little bit where he could through the second sector, because it's coming to get you that was catching them both up, which is Hammer Time's teammate. Okay, and I'm pretty sure those two won't be too far off this group of cars soon. So Stuckey then currently sat in 7th position, sort of like in a bit of no man's land really, bit of a gap to the cars ahead of him, bit of a gap to the cars behind him, but I'm pretty sure Danos has retired from the session. Not sure why that is. I'm pretty sure we'll have information from DP when the information comes in.
No damage, it's a crash.
Oh dearie me, it's nature of the circuit.
Hammer Time's locked up, and Mornay's looking to be a little bit of a fish out of water, coming to get you. Looks to have a nice exit now out of the final hairpin. I think coming to get you might be able to do his teammate here. Yeah, his teammate's going open the DRS and let him through there.
Okay, you need to get back on looking at Simo, because they were getting very close there, Simo. I think it was GT5 King, and it looks like Simo's already got the move done.
Yeah, he got the move done on the previous lap, sorry.
I'm just wondering whether...
King he's running out of tyre wear, but he is able to cling on with Simo, but I think Simo will be disappearing down the road anytime soon.
Yeah, there's a car just gone into the pit lane, didn't see who that is. I'm sure we'll find out shortly. It might have been Duo Finn. It was Duo Finn. I don't want to be on board with my ghosted car driving around. So yeah, Mr. Hamilton 44 is out in the lead then. He's on lap 19 of 35. Casely currently running in 2nd place, and he's within touching distance. I say touching distance. It's 4.5 seconds behind the leader, and that's not too bad. That is kind of like undercut territory if he wanted to try and undercut the car ahead when it comes round.
Mornay looks to be the prey, and coming to get you looks to be the hunter right now as we head down onto the back straight. The DRS is wide open, but it's far away, but I think the second DRS zone is where coming to get you is wanting to get Mornay out of shape. Mornay's just locked up into the final chicane, but did not look to be putting him off through there, and yeah, Mornay had a nice little run there when he needed it most.
Yeah, and coming to get you is the car that's on fire at the moment, not literally. He is literally catching the car in front. No, not literally, but literally catching the car up in front. And we need to get a better view than that. Thank you very much.
Mr. Hamilton has really struggled through turn 8 and 9, lost about a second there, and he's locking up left, right, and centre. I think these tyres are just going now for Mr. Hamilton. Leading this race.
That would be early if they're going. He's probably putting a lot of pressure on them if he's feeling a lot of pressure from Casely in 2nd place. And we mustn't forget as well that we've got F1 Roadrunner in 3rd place, and he's about similar distance behind Casely as what Casely is from.
He's not quite. He's dropped off. He's about 12 seconds behind. What you have got though is coming to get you right onto the back of Mornay now. This is the closest battle near the front. So coming to get you, trying to fight his way back through. So it might be worth having a look at that one. And I'll have a quick look through the rest of the field.
It's gone deep as Mornay. Coming to get you, can breeze past, but no, it's got bogged down in the worst place. You want to get bogged down, so we're running side by side towards turn 1, but Mornay looks to have given this one up unless he can break late. He's trying it still on the outside, which is who comes the inside, but coming to get you has said no chance, sunshine. I'm having been P4 for myself.
Yep, so it's coming to get into P4.
Okay, while this potentially just settles down for a moment, I mean, coming to get you is about 7 seconds behind F1 Roadrunner. That's the gap he needs to bring in to try and get onto the podium. I mean, something I want to just quickly mention to you guys, that a few of the comments in the YouTube chat. I mean, I will just say as well, you've got to remember, guys, when doing commentary, we're on the cuff. There's no practice. There's no sort of like, this is what's going to happen, talk about it. So sometimes we might get stuff wrong. But one of the things that is being mentioned quite a bit, and I'm sure there's a few drivers talking about it a lot behind the scenes, is the massive frustration of putting in potentially weeks of preparation for a race to have it ruined on the opening lap. I mean, I know what my thoughts are on that. I'm just wondering for you guys, from a sort of driver's perspective, I mean, how do you put it into words, that frustration, that situation?
You can't. I had it happen this season to me at Spain. First lap one, turn 7, and it was just an incident that was unavoidable, but my car gets written off. You have no words. You're in shock. You can't believe what's happened. You sit there motionless, staring at your car in pieces.
And one tip I learned, and this is something that some people that probably get very, very frustrated with, but I always think to myself, what's the worst case scenario? And it probably would be going out in the first corner or the first lap. I always think to myself, look, don't expect a lot, and you'll probably walk away with a bigger smile, because if you go into a race and think, oh, I'm going to win this one, you're just bigging yourself up for failure. If you go into the race going, well, I think I've got a nailed setup, and but if I can get through the first few laps and without any damage, I'll be happy. Before you know it, you'll end up blistering through races and not being took out. Whereas if you sort of think, oh, I'm going to win this one, I've got the best setup ever, that's when you end up binning it, or somebody ends up driving into you.
I mean the things as well, there's, I mean, from this race, I think potentially majority of the people that have ended up out of this race, it has been from a crash they've had on their own. It may have come from having an incident with someone else and ended up with no front wing. I think it was Braken Clays. He's mentioned that once he'd lost his front wing, he tried to go round the right-hand kink, and it's one of those where, unfortunately for him, with no front wing, you've got to get way off the throttle, otherwise you end up in the barrier like he did. Perhaps the situation, the lack of knowledge on that particular corner with no front wing, the tension of having cars around him ended up with him just going out a little bit too quick and ended up in the wall. So there have been more sort of drivers hitting barriers themselves, but obviously it doesn't change the fact that's frustrating, but it doesn't change the fact that that could have come from incidents earlier on. I mean, I know some people have said that front row racing's penalties that get applied to the first corner are a bit extreme, they're a bit harsh. Well, some people might think that, but at the end of the day, it's there to try and stop people causing first corner collisions.
There might be an overtake, DP. There might be an overtake. RMS Maranello is in DRS range of Stocky. He's been catching him throughout this lap, and I wasn't expecting to have to cut you off so soon, but he is within slipstream. He's got his DRS open. Is he going to have a look up the inside? No, he's going to sit behind it. Okay. Oh, Stocky's pitted. Yeah, that was perfect timing for RMS Maranello. DRS with no car ahead of him now. No car to overtake, but it would have put him off, because he would have been expecting the car in front to brake as it just went flying into the pit lane.
Well, you say that's perfect timing for RMS Maranello. It could be perfect timing for Stocky, because he's now potentially on the fastest tyre. He's gone back to the Ultra Softs, so he's one to keep an eye out for. He's got 12 laps to do on the Ultra Soft tyre, and he's going to come out right behind Simo. Yeah. Right next to Simo. They are side by side. Stocky just ahead, but I think Simo may have another stop to do.
Yeah, I think definitely. He may do. These tyres that they're on 11, 12 laps-ish is capable, and that's what we've got left. So nice on the cuff working out there from Stocky that was the best time for him to pit.
I reckon it was a guess.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Just to let the viewers know that Casely has taken a full second out of the leader, which is Hamilton 44. Hamilton 44 in the pits now.
Simo's going to have a look at overtaking Stocky. He's right up behind him round the hairpin as they head round now turn 11. That's not really much of a turn. But yeah, DRS what's he going to do down towards the last chicane? Is he going to make a move? He's going to have to do something, because Stocky's going to be ahead of him for the rest of the race, unless he decides to go for the pit lane.
Casely's pitted and he's come out right behind, coming to get you. He's trying to make his way through the traffic and not lose touch with Hamilton 44, who he was gaining on through that middle stint, but he needs to make his way past coming to get you as quick as possible.
He does, because coming to get you is not pitting, so this is a race to the finish for position.
And F1 Roadrunner also in the same position. Hamilton 44 needs to get past F1 Roadrunner to break away from Casely.
It's going to get all very busy towards the end here.
So we go, F1 Roadrunner. I think he's going to try and get out of the way, because I think Mr. Hamilton 44 is going to have the run.
Casely side by side with coming to get you. He's got the move done before the final chicane, so he's got the position, and it's all clean through past the Wall of Champions.
The gap now is down at 2.6 seconds. It was 3.3 seconds, so it's down at 2.4, so he took 9/10 out of Mr. Hamilton in one lap with traffic, so that's good for Casely. I think Casely is on for the run of his life as he goes for 9 laps to go. Can he do it?
I think he could. Oh, well, he'll catch him, but can he overtake him? That's the next question, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Now, just to cover something DP mentioned a moment ago about having your race finished on the first lap and doing loads of practice in preparation. What's your other option? Don't do any practice and you'll still have a crash because you're not ready.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, as a league, I mean, Front Row Racing can't control people's cars for them, but, I mean, we all know what it's like as drivers, how annoying it is when people have collisions with you and ruin your race. It is massively, massively frustrating. I mean, I wouldn't say I condone it, but at the same time, sometimes mistakes do just happen. And that's where, I mean, you get some people that say, well, racing is racing, it's part of it, but at the same time, there comes a point where, Mornay nearly ended up in the barrier then. I mean, there comes a point where you kind of have to say, well, hang on a minute, guys. I mean, yeah. I mean, I always tended to approach racers perhaps differently to many. I mean, I said to many people, if you want to try and overtake me into a corner, that's fine. Go for it. I'll give you the room. But be prepared for the fact that I may come back past you on the exit of the corner. If you give room, you should expect room, and it's not wrong to suggest that, or to think that, or to expect that. I mean, personally, I think from a driver's perspective, those drivers that go, well, here's my car, you either move or we're having a crash, some people might say that's right, but no, come on, we're playing a game, we're part of a league, it's more than that. It's a simple thing to do, to just say, I'll give you a little bit of room.
Yeah, well, we all know the situation and how frustrating it is, but I think one of the main things is it either builds your confidence or it destroys your confidence, and I think one of the main things is to not let it destroy your confidence. If you know for a fact that you were taken out of a race and it was not of your own fault, let it build your confidence, don't let it destroy it, because you might not trust that person when you come up behind them the next time, but it'll be more of a challenge to know that you've done them cleanly than them taking you out dirty. That is the biggest compliment you can have.
Yeah, just a little bit of info for you. Armas Marinello's dived back into the pits for his final stop. Let's see, Hammer Time, he's running in 6th at the moment, and I won't say he's got a train of cars behind him, but he has got a couple of cars behind him, that being Stocky and Simo 911, who are catching him fairly quick.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, we've all been in the situation where you get taken out of a race. I believe it was myself in the Nordschleife with 2 laps to go for the Project Cars League. I were taken out in that race, and to be fair, that was probably the best race of my front row racing career, and I ended up getting completely took out of it. But I didn't go into the next race going, I was completely cheesed off at the time, but I let it build my confidence rather than destroy it.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things a lot of sports people will say, and I mean, whether it's racing drivers, darts players, footballers, it's one of those things. don't take this the wrong way, folks. If you make a mistake, you kind of got to forget about it for the next race. I don't mean just like forget about it and do the same thing again. That's just daft. What I mean is, if you let it sit on your mind and play on your mind, then it can, as you say, have much more of a negative effect. I mean, for example, this situation that K-Slade finds himself in now is 2 seconds behind the leader, and he's gaining on him, and he's gaining on him, and there's half a chance that he could catch him and battle for the lead of this race. Nobody knows exactly how it's going to pan out, and whatever does happen, K-Slade can go away from this race thinking, I could have done more, I could have done better, the pace was there, and either be frustrated that he couldn't do it, or be sort of quietly positive at the fact that he was able to apply enough pressure. Okay, it may not happen this race, but it could happen in the next one.
Exactly. You've got to try and take the positives out of every situation, even when you took out on the first lap. I've had that about 4 or 5 times when I was in the World Championship, and there's no point in dwelling on it. You might as well switch focus as quick as possible, get on with the next race and start practicing for the next circuit.
Just point out that K-Slade's taken a second out of him in 1 lap.
Nice.
It's catching him. He's getting there.
Yeah, 1.6 now.
Something I want to quickly mention as well before sort of we get fully engrossed into this potential battle up at the front is something that Temfears just said. I mean, I would guess that he's watching or listening in at the moment. And obviously, I mean, he ended up with a five-place grid penalty in qualifying, which he feels is completely wrong. I haven't seen it. I don't know what happened, so I can't make any kind of judgment on that. But that also, that for me just emphasises the reason why Codemasters should have had it where you could adjust somebody's grid positions, or you could adjust somebody's penalties in that way. Because, for example, given that situation we just had the race just gone on, there would have been not a lot we could have done about it. He'd have got the penalty, he'd have been able to appeal it. And that time would have potentially a time would have been given back to him. Might not help him out given the starting position, but there's not a lot more that could be done there. However, given that there was a restart, if he was able, or if any of us were able to go, right, he's just been given a grid place penalty, he thinks it's wrong, takes 5 seconds to have a look and go, yeah, you know what, that's wrong, take it off. Problem solved. But unfortunately, as we're more and more realising, Codemasters, unfortunately, is not that far evolved.
No, I mean, I was just thinking of what is the Codemasters could do, and just imagine if there was a system where they didn't give any penalties to any of the cars, but at the end of the race there was a fact sheet of who did what. Then the league can look at that fact sheet and go, okay, let's look into this incident, let's look into this incident, and work out whether penalties are worth giving or not. Then it's up to the league then.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of the grid drop penalties on the game because, I mean, I think for most of the ones that I've seen, it's not necessarily been right. But at the same time, it was really funny, unfortunately, for Andy Russell when he was given a 10-place grid drop penalty at Brazil. I think it was last season. He ended up not in like 14th position. He was in like 25th position. It actually put him 10 grid slots further away from the rest of the cars, which, yeah, I mean, okay, funny, but also wrong. Obviously, we shouldn't turn this into a rant about Codemasters. We should really focus on K-Slade trying to catch up to Mr. Hamilton 44. It's holding at 1.3 seconds at the moment.
Yeah, K-Slade's nudging towards him, but I think Hamilton will be quite happy that there's only 3 laps to go, but I think once he gets within a second, that gap's just going to diminish.
The thing is, though, with it, when he's about that second behind, well, the distance he's at now, it's the dirty air, and through that sector 2, he's going to be affected by dirty air all the way through it. So he's got to try and get within DRS range to try and maintain the gap.
1 second exactly now. Mr. Hamilton's just got on the dirt, and that could have compromised his exit. Let's just see what the gap is as we go over the line. I think it's within a second now. Yeah, it's 7/10, so he's within it. He just needs to stay within a second, and Mr. Hamilton's going to be bricking it before you know it.
Yeah, so they've got 3 laps left to go. They've got 2 full laps plus this one. So he's got a bit of time in the bag just yet to get this done, has Casely. But while we're watching these two, DP, have a little look through, see if there's anything else happening, and let us know.
Yeah, keep a close eye on those guys though, because Casely is within DRS range now.
Yeah, definitely. It's within slipstream, and even without DRS, it's closing in now.
Okay, I'll quickly update you as I have a look through. Coming to get you, he's in 3rd place at the moment, and Mornay is still fairly close behind him. F1 Roadrunner in 5th, a little bit of a gap back to him, and a bigger gap down to Hammer Time 9.5. Stocky and Simo, no, it's Stocky and RMS Maranello, they are very close. I'll keep an eye on these while you keep an eye on that battle for the lead.
I think Casely is within DRS. Simo had a semi-decent exit out of the final corner, but the 2 corners before that, it completely lit up the rear tyres, which will have overheated them a fair chunk now. And yeah, Casely, I think 2 laps to go now. It's now or never.
Maranello's close enough to go for the overtake on Stocky into the hairpin. Up the inside he goes. Stocky giving him the room. Side by side on the exit. And a little sideways and a little bit of contact. And that's RMS Maranello still behind. I mean, the hairpin there, it's such a tricky one. It's so easy to lose it on your own. But when you're side by side, if you have a bit of a twitch, you could potentially take another car with you. That's now got a little bit of a gap in there.
The leaders are...
rear tyres.
Not Simo, it's Mr. Hamilton. But they're coming up to a back marker. And that could play an effect because Mr. Hamilton could end up having DRS if they get close enough to him.
Yeah, Mr. Hamilton's rear tyres are completely going, and this is the time when Casely needs to pounce. As yeah, they're coming up behind a Williams. That was a much better exit that time for Mr. Hamilton 44, but Casely is very, very close.
Yeah, Mr. Hamilton's not going to get DRS.
All Stocky and RS Maranello side by side again. They've been looking like they've been getting a little bit angry in there, so side by side. They've almost taken each other off the track. They've had a little bit of a physical end to the previous lap, a little bit of a physical start to this one, and this is what I would say to the guys. Calm down, guys, come on. Have some respect on the track. I mean, I don't mean to rant, but if you're going to drive crap, go drive crap somewhere else.
But let's just focus on this now, because I think Casely is going to drive very, very sweetly as we're on the final lap, and Casely is all over the back now. Mr. Hamilton 44, what can Mr. Hamilton 44 do? Can he keep his head under these pressured situations? His rears are going, they're overheating, and there we go. The back end is starting to squirm. He's got a Williams in front of him that'll be putting him off. He'll be thinking, get out of my way. He'll be doing the Sebastian Vettel blue flag, but Casely is on him.
I just want to point out as well that my comment just then wasn't necessarily aimed at Stocky or RMS Maranello, aimed at everybody really. I mean, people if they complain... Go on.
Sorry, Mr. Hamilton locked up there in the final hairpin, and Casely also had a bad exit, so I think it's equalled itself out. I think Hamilton 44, if he doesn't screw up in the final chicane, has won this race.
Yeah, so there's just 2 corners to go, James. Call them across the line as they go.
And there we go. Hamilton 44 held off a fantastic attack from Casely to win the Montreal Grand Prix. What a race there.
And I tell you,
yeah.
In 3rd place is coming to get you, but not far behind him is Mornay. So 2 more cars here that's going to follow them across the line very close together. And they both get through past the Wall of Champions without too much difficulty. And we've got F1 Roadrunner now around the last corner. He's currently sat in 5th place. Hammer Time at 95 in 6th place through the final chicane. So he's having 6th position. RMS Maranello, after a difficult start to the race, in 7th position. Stocky in 8th. Simo 911 in 9th place. Joey Finn looks like he's going to bring home the last points. If he can get that car to the finish line, he's got a little bit further to go. 1 straight and 2 corners for Duo Finn. Behind him, GT5 King in 11th place. But oh, he's on the grass. He's only got a lap to go. He needs to, well, half a lap to go. He needs to get that car to the finish line.
And once again, lovely little comment here for Codemasters. I've got a blank screen. Fantastic.
Well, don't worry, James. It's 9 o'clock. You need to shoot off, mate.
Aye, and just say well done to the top three for me, because that was a cracking race, especially between the top two, and how the hell held off the pressure from Casely in that middle stint alone, and then coming out of the pit lane. That needs to be the biggest question, as I've got a fantastic error. So there we go, on cue. Thank you very much. I've been Front Row Racing JS, and take care, everybody, and good night from me.
I'll catch you later, James.
Okay, in a moment we'll get the guys in for the podium interviews. Just want to quickly, James's name has popped on my screen as I'm taking a picture there. Yeah, I mean, my comment sort of at the end there wasn't necessarily aimed at RMS Maranello or Stocky in person. It's sort of generally aimed at everybody. The races are only as good as the people that are taking part in them. I mean, and some of the best races that I've had with people is when that little bit of room is given, because then you can really go for it. If you know that that guy's going to give you a bit of space, then you know you can go sort of wheel to wheel with them. It can make it very difficult if you're unsure what people around you are going to do. But there we go. So, podium, Mr. Hamlin 44.
Casely.
Let's see. Yep.
And then coming to get you. While you're just sending those out, I'm just going to repeat question of the day, but also mention that if anyone's got any questions for the podium drivers, post it in the chat with at FRR, and we shall get those questions asked if they are suitable and broadcastable. But also, yeah, question of the day: what gift did DP get that he could use on the loo?
What Christmas gift did I get that you can use on the toilet?
But also, we did say, if you're a viewer, not necessarily a driver, what do you think about this tyre glitch, and how do you think leagues should go about dealing with it? It'd be interesting to hear some non-drivers' comments on that. But if you are a driver and you want to post a comment, feel free. So we have had a driver join us. Make sure your microphone is switched to shared, always allowed, and so that the listeners can hear you. I can't tell DP who we've got in and who we haven't.
So I'll tell you.
Okay. I've just seen that Mr. Hamilton has joined. So coming to get you, Mr. Hamilton.
We've got them all in.
We've got them all in. Okay, so great race there then. And the podium 3 was Mr. Hamilton on pole. On pole? No, it wasn't on pole. Was he on pole? I don't know, but he finished in first place.
It was on pole.
It was on pole. So pole to finish. Well done. Kendall Casely won, I should say, in second place, and coming to get you in third. So starting with Mr. Hamilton then in first place. You set the pole time then, as you've just reminded me. Any nerves heading down into turn 1, or was it not just a matter of getting off the line cleanly and keeping that line into turn 1?
I tried to keep the line into turn 1, but Maranello was right beside me and managed to get around the outside, and then he had the inside corner. So I lost the lead on the first lap. A bit unfortunate.
Yeah, there was a few incidents on that first lap, but I'm pretty sure there were all of them behind you. Obviously, RMS Maranello disappeared from your sight at some point, but was it an overtake you made on RMS Maranello before he had an issue in the race?
No, I went into the pits behind him, and then he had to wait for me to get out in the pit box.
Yes, that's right. We saw that, and you've just reminded me.
Yeah. And after that, I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, I think he had a bit of a coming together with Simo 9 and 1-1, but if anybody wants to see that, it is on the footage.
But I think Maranello would have beaten me today. He was so fast.
You think he would have been quicker than you today?
Yeah, definitely.
Is that from what you've experienced in practice sessions, or just?
No, just the start of the race.
Yeah. Okay.
He was so quick, so quick.
And you were under pressure a lot there by his teammate in the other half. Both of them were a bit of a pain in the half today. Under pressure from Casely at the end, did you feel that you had enough tyre life and enough fuel to keep him behind you, or did you feel that he would make the move on you at some point?
I felt like he was faster than me, but I always had some fuel some fuel left. So to put it in rich mode to avoid any attacks from him. So I was a bit comfortable in the lead, but it was getting a bit close in the end.
Any concerns with the back marker, the Williams, on that last lap, as it was ahead of you?
I didn't notice.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's all right. Just with it being ahead of you, sometimes it can be a little bit off-putting, or if you catch it in the wrong place, it can slow you down. But it looked like it didn't cause you too much of a problem. I just wondered if it mentally may have affected you at all. But no, yeah, it was
I don't
good.
think so.
That's good. Good race from you there. I'm going to ask DP if he's got any questions for you. DP?
No, not really, not at the moment, because I wasn't really listening. I don't know what you was asking. I was checking on YouTube, so I'll let you carry on.
Okay, all right. In that case, well done, Mads. We will ask you the question of the day, as we do with all the podium drivers, in a moment. If we've got any questions on YouTube, we'll get DP to ask you those in a moment as well. So we'll come back to you shortly. So we'll move on to second place, K-Slate. That must be a big relief after the last two races.
Yeah, definitely. Some good points.
Yeah, and qualifying, was you happy with your position in qualifying or disappointed? Did you get the lap in you wanted?
No, I was up by about 6 tenths on one of my laps, but I went across the final chicane. So obviously I couldn't complete the lap. But yeah, my start of my race was awful. I was going backwards for the first two laps. It took me a while to get comfortable. But yeah, just frustrated. Couldn't get mad in the end, and then just got to say to Maranello, he was absolutely rapid today. If he didn't have the incident, he would have probably walked it.
Yeah. Any idea what may have happened in that incident? Any comment from Maranello at the time?
He sounded a bit frustrated. I tried not to talk to him, but I think he had it coming together with I can't remember who, and then he got a drive-through as well.
Oh no!
When he came into the pit.
Yeah, we didn't see the drive-through. We didn't notice that at the time, but yeah, that definitely would not have helped him. So, would you say from this race, there's something we can expect from both of you going forward? Both cars looking like they should be on the podium?
Yeah, I think that's always the aim. I think in general in race pace we're fairly decent, so if we just keep it clean and keep out of incidents and silly mistakes, we should be alright.
So the win was on the cards for you today because you had the pace, but are you happy in the end with second place after the start you had then?
I am, but it's a weird one because I thought if Maranello carried on, I wouldn't have won anyway. So second place would have been the maximum, but you've got to take your chances when they come, and I was just a bit frustrated. I couldn't get mad at the end though.
In commentary, I mentioned that I think it was about 5, 6, 7 laps to go, and I mentioned that it's an interesting one for you. We was talking about drivers taking the positives even from terrible situations, and I mentioned that it could be an interesting one for you, that if you catch him and can't get past him, there are positives there, but there will be the frustration of you couldn't get past him. So would you say it's difficult to see past that little negative and focus on those positives, or does it perhaps take a couple of days to go, you know what, I'll be all right in the next race?
A bit of both really at the minute. Still a bit of a raw feeling, but yeah, considering I'm not feeling well at the minute, and to get second is good result, but obviously the person I want to outscored me, so
yeah, that's always a difficult one, that, when the person you're trying to beat in the league is ahead of you. But take the positives from it, that's all we can say really. Second place, not bad at all. Dave, any other questions from yourself for K-Slate?
Not at the moment.
Okay. Kendall, well done on second place. We'll come back to you with a question of the day in a moment. And on to Coming to Get You, who finished in third place. How are you this evening?
Pretty well. That was a bit of a hectic race, but yeah, entertaining.
It was very entertaining. A lot I can't speak. A lot cracking off at the start of the race. I don't know exactly what you saw of it and whether you want to comment on anything that may have happened near the start of the race. But if you did see something, now's a good time to mention it.
Cars left, right, centre. It seemed like it was every man for himself, and it was trying to find any bit of tarmac you could get on, because it was chaos left, right, centre from my point of view.
Was that more down to drivers using the right foot a little bit too much and the back end going on the car, or was it just drivers, do you feel, too eager to get ahead of the car in front of them, or just one of them things?
Personally, I think it was a bit of everything. Drivers trying to be keen to get the jump on others, drivers trying to follow others. I don't know, drivers going for moves that I would contemplate, but yeah, it was cracking.
Yeah, it was very eventful, we can say that. And I know there's a lot of disappointed drivers that didn't finish the race. But one thing we did notice about your race was you managed to pull the one-stop off when a lot of people were thinking it had to be a two-stop. Was the one-stop always going to be on the cards for you today?
Yeah, one stop was always there. It was always in play. I was just gutted. I qualified 9th. If I would have been in the top 5, I might have been able to challenge these two right here. But I had to let them go when they came up behind me. No point in fighting them. So, yeah.
So you don't feel that if you'd have done the two-stop that that would have actually benefited you? You felt that the one-stop was definitely the way for you to go with the way you drive and the way you look after the tyres?
Yeah, tyre management was good. Those ultras at the start where the fight was on everywhere went off a bit too much, tripped a couple of walls, but kept the car in one piece and carried on with my race. It's a bit of a Sunday drive, as I call it.
Yeah, I mean, there were times when you had nothing in front of you and nothing behind you, but then there were other times when you had some overtaking to do. Was there any point in that race, in the middle of the race, you were thinking, "Oh, I'm not going to get anywhere near the podium today"?
It was at the start. I don't think I'll get anywhere near it because it's a very difficult track to overtake on unless you go for a late move, unless you got a good DRS run. But It was when I came up to, I was in 5th and I had Hammer Time, obviously the teammate today, in 3rd, and I think he was playing the team game because he wanted me to get out there and get as many points as I could, which if he was, it benefited the team really well.
Yeah, it did look like he moved aside for you though, which was nice of a teammate to do. When you do the one stop, you always tend to find that cars get a bit closer to you towards the end of a race. You're always feeling that you may lose a couple of positions towards the end. It's one of those things that could happen with a one stop. At what point did you realise that your finishing position was going to be 3rd place?
It was lap 30, if I'm honest, because the guy Williams behind me, I can't remember his name.
Mornay.
He had good pace. Mornay. He had good pace, and I think he went on 2 laps earlier than me, so I was quite surprised. But it was F1 Roadrunner. Once I hit lap 30, I could see he wasn't getting anywhere, so it was a case of podiums on. I've just got to keep Mornay behind me.
Yeah, and it was well done from you there. DP, any questions for Coming to Get You?
Potential contentious one. Obviously, in recent weeks, Simo 911 was selected as a permanent driver in the Force India team. And obviously you're a driver that has shown good talents and more than capable of potentially taking a seat if they come available. I'm curious what your feelings was on Simo getting that drive ahead of yourself, and also whether it had any kind of bearing on today's race, whether it was perhaps a case of, you know what, I really want to beat Simo today.
No, what it was, I can't remember, it was F1 Roadrunner. When both names popped up, I said good luck on choosing whichever driver you do, hard choice. I send my congrats to Simo in a message, fair play to getting the drive. It didn't have no bearance on this race though. It was a case of turn up, do what I do, and let the racing do the talking, and yeah, get on with it. But no difference to what I do, turn up, do my race. I'm just, with the structure of the mandatory tyre, that was what played on my mind more than anything else. So, but yeah, it's all good fun.
Yeah, I'd just say on that as well that either one of you deserved that seat, and if me choosing, I don't think I could have picked between the two of you. So,
So what you saying? You'd have given up your seat and let them both race?
no, I'd have picked a third choice.
Yeah, go for somebody else. I mean, something I'll say as well. We'll begin to start wrapping this up. Obviously, there's quite a bit of chatter going on about incidents in the races. Incidents are always going to happen in races. Unfortunately, it's the way races go. I mean, I've personally been involved in a lot of races, and there's always going to be something that happens somewhere, and it is massively frustrating as it is. Sometimes people learn from mistakes, and sometimes people don't. And I personally think that's the key part to it: people learning from the mistakes. So anyway, question of the day. We'll put it to the drivers. Anyone else that wants to have another guess on YouTube, feel free to do so. Those of you that have said the rude lady's toy, no, it wasn't one of them. So guys, it's a dead simple one which you're going to have no idea of the answer to. What did I get as a Christmas present that you can use on the loo?
I think we should ask Mads first, since he won the race. So, Mads, what gift did DP get that he can use on the loo?
You got a filthy mind. Behave yourself.
Yeah, I do. A Sudoku.
Oh, interesting. Go on, next one.
So, K-Slay next.
A phone.
A phone. Okay, fair enough. Coming to get you. Come on.
I have no idea. I'm just going to throw a Rubik's Cube at you. I have no idea.
Well, I hope it's a soft one. Okay, all of you dirty-minded people out there, you're absolutely disgusting. It was a floor mat that's a golfing green, so you can sit there, have a poo, and play golf. Put some balls. And when someone asked me earlier, what does it involve, I was very tempted to say, well, it involves balls, but they're giving the game away.
Well, I don't know, because people with their dirty minds may have taken that another step further.
Exactly, that's another reason why I didn't want to say it at the time. Okay, so yeah, just about time to wrap this up. Then obviously the result is a provisional result, and results will be put out on Facebook. Thank you to everyone for joining us for the broadcast this evening, and also to the drivers for taking part. And hopefully any alcohol and excess food they've had over the Christmas period will be burnt off for the next race, and hopefully a few tempers will have calmed down as well. Feel free to come and join us for the World Series race tomorrow, which, going on today's race, could be absolute carnage, or maybe the World Series will show the World Championship drivers how it's done. It happens now and again. So yeah, come and join us for that tomorrow. We'll be online from about 7:25 p.m. on the broadcast. So yeah, come and join us for that one. And then don't forget, on Sunday there is the final round of the Project Car Sundays LMP1 race. That'll be live on YouTube as well. So if you do want to get involved in Project Cars, drop us a message on the Facebook page, Front Row Racing. I did post as well a link earlier to the Facebook post regarding the tyre wear glitch earlier, that also has the link to the Codemasters forums on it. So other than that, I think I've just about finished there, Steve. We can wrap this up.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to everyone that took part. Thank you to James that's not here. It did say congratulations to the 3 guys on the podium, but he had to shoot off. So yeah, thank you very much to everyone, and goodbye.